Yes, my name is Brian. This is Brynetic Sports. Another video to really up your mood. It's the world of sports, and we are here to give you the latest coming out of course, our preparation for the African Cup of Nations 2027. Today, we are going to be talking about the latest news coming in from infrastructure. That is, of course, development in Uganda in regards to the 2027 African Cup of Nations. Of course, you all know that Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya are going to be hosting the prestigious tournament in 2027. And Uganda has done a lot to see that we get prepared. And of course, with the completion of Nambole Mandela National Stadium, which is of course almost complete, a lot of works on the different sectors are really going on. And of course, news coming in last week of Uganda, of course, the government coming in and talking to Kyambogo University and agreeing and signing a memorandum of understanding to really construct a training facility. It's one of the kind that will be constructed, and of course it's going to be alongside the other facilities that were earmarked to be renovated, as well as to be transformed into professional training centers, which include Makerere University. There's one in Buya, and others around the country to support the African Cup of Nations 2027. I'm just going to be giving you, of course, my opinion about the training facility, as well as comparing it to the rest of Africa. We have facilities in Africa that really are up there and they are world class. So I'll be comparing a few things and, of course, giving my view about what I expect to be done and what I think government should be doing to make this a little bit more better for this nation to be respected when people come here, for them to look at what we are doing and then to give us at least flowers. And of course, I'll be looking at all that and so much more. So keep it here, keep it to Brynetic Sports as we give you the latest info as well as news coming from the world of sports. And of course, beginning on that note, of course, it was a Tuesday last week, that was the 21st of May, government coming out and signing a memorandum of understanding, MOU, with Kyambogo University to construct a standard training ground. And of course, Uganda, of course, coming out through the Minister of State for Sports, that is Mr. Peter Gwang, and alongside the National Council of Sports chairperson, that is Mr. Tashobia. They came, of course, with a delegation to go all the way and iron out a few things for them to really get into agreement with the university to construct the stadium. And according to Mr. Andrew Tashobia, who is the chairman of the National Council of Sports, he came out and, of course, confirmed that the facility will be built and it is going to be done in two phases, which, of course, the first phase will be qualifying for the CAF as well as the AFCON tournaments. It's a phase that will really handle those tournaments, and they believe by the completion of the first phase, the training facility will be meeting those standards of CAF as well. But the other thing also to note is that the facility must have a standard playing surface, and we got to know that it's going to be natural grass, a standard irrigation system, and floodlights as well, to help the teams train whether day or night, if at all, of course, it is decided on. But one of the most important things, of course, to look at is that this agreement just comes a few months as Kyambogo University, I think last year and the previous years, they had plans of constructing a new stadium, especially on their grounds. They are just closer to the main building. They had plans of redeveloping those facilities, and one of the things that I got to know is that these facilities were supposed to be handling a lot of things, especially to do with the local sport. You remember that Kyambogo University is one of the few universities that hosts a lot of sports disciplines in there. We have inter-university games, we have a lot of the other things there. So their idea was to develop the area not only for football but also for things like basketball and the other sports disciplines. So it was already in plan. So this this memorandum of understanding coming into place, of course, to add on already the existing activities that really were planned for this place. You remember just in February, I think, yeah, February, it was February, they came out and signed another MOU with National Council of Sports as well to construct a cricket oval as well as a standard baseball ground. And I think already the budget has been passed. I think it's 50 billion Uganda shillings already being passed for this place to be, upgraded into something better. You remember the cricket oval is going to be shifted from the Rugogo area where we are going to be having a standard arena, an indoor arena that is going to be constructed. So the space itself does not, it can't accommodate a hockey ground, because the hockey ground will be kept at the Rugogo area, so they cannot accommodate a cricket oval as well. They need the parking, they need spaces to really develop a modern arena. And the Suma company that comes all the way from Turkey is already working in the redevelopment of this area. So already you see that there is work happening in Kyambogo University, which I believe is the way to go. You remember Morocco University recently, a few years back, they got an indoor netball as well as basketball arena. So it looks like the UPDF as well constructed that. So the UPDF are going to be dealing with this as well. I think it's after the good work they did all the way in Nambola. A lot of people are really questioning their work in there, which I really would not, because of course we need capacity building, just like the government has that mindset of creating capacity within the people that work locally here. I believe that this is the way to go. Of course, their idea is if the UPDF engineering brigade come out and get the experience from the local jobs that they get in there, or the contracts they get in there, then in later years we will not have issues, especially in infrastructure development, if at all they have the experience. Though sometimes a lot of people question the way they do their things already. We had an issue with Nambole. You remember the parliamentary committee coming out and talking about how the work was done, and Inyamoses Mago coming out and ironing out a few things that were not done, especially in collaboration with FUFA, because FUFA has all the standards that they need. But I think it was sorted very fast in there. But all we need to hear is that government really is empowering this interesting venture, and we want to see that UPDF can handle local jobs in here. I think this will not be a bad move of giving them experience, because it's going to be a two-phased activity. I got to know that according to one Kano engineer, Godfrey Tukamwakira, that gentleman who is the commander of the UPDF engineering brigade, he came out and confirmed that the job is going to be taking 3 months. To me, I question that. Because 3 months, I don't think it's enough for us to have something to the elite level. I don't think they're going to be constructing so much of a modern training facility. It's going to be a training facility, but I don't think it will meet up to the rest of the world what training facilities we usually see. Yet, I think they still have, they might not be having the time, but I think with the resources that are going to be, invested in there, it would be very good if we did something, elite, something that really is something that is copied, because we need to benchmark from other countries around us. I'll give you an example. A country like Morocco, they have a Morocco Football Complex, and that is the home for the national team where they do their training. It's one of the bases and a training facility that really, it also has an academy in there, but it sits on a 75-acre piece of land, and it's a state-of-art, training facility. It has over 8 pitches, it has indoor arenas, it has restaurants, it has a lot of things in there, residences for players as well as the staff in there. It has offices, secretariat, and all that stuff. But also the most important thing is they are so much concerned about the health of the players as well. So the medical as well as the health facilities in there are superb. I could not even, I cannot even mention, the quality of these, what is the health facilities, I cannot even imagine the quality of health facilities that are in there. Because I'll give you an example. A few of the things that I noted that are available at this training facility, they have a psychological center, a psychology center whereby the mental issues, mental health is worked on. Of course, that is to do with relationship issues with people, their mindset and all that stuff. There is a nutrition center as well, where of course players are given the right food and they are handled very well. Of course, a study is even done on each player on their nutrition and all that stuff. There's a sports medicine area. You remember that sports medicine is all about how you train in order to prevent things like injuries and all that stuff. Fitness center. There's a cardiology center, whereby of course this deals with the heart issues, anything to do with the heart issues in there. That also works. There's also a pathology center. It's for, of course, the eyes. It's a medicine that works on the eyes. There's also a podiatrics center. It's also some of these words are medical terms. I might not be 100% confident with them, but also this podiatric center works with problems that attack the feet and lower legs as well. There's a physiotherapy center, whereby all the players that have had injuries and are recovering, this is where they are worked on and they are given chance to recover. There is also a traumatology center as well, for study of wounds and injuries that are caused by accidents as well. And there is an infirmary, which also you can refer to a hospital, and then a dental center, and all the other things in there. There are small things that are really put into consideration, especially with the health, that are really very critical for a player to be 100%. That is why you see countries like Morocco, Algeria, and all the other northern African teams are really, they perform to the levels that are required on the international scene, because the way they handle their players and what the players go through to be ready for the tasks that are ahead, is not something very easy. So that is why you see that these areas are really designated for these players to have a better way of doing things. You look at the conference rooms, you look at the hotel, you look at the training pitch, you look at every single bit of what is put in this training facility. You will see that it's a professional training facility. In fact, I got to know that recently Real Madrid, one of the teams that was playing in the, I think it was the Club World Cup then, they managed to go into that training facility and they used it for training in there. So to attract a team like that has the best facilities in the world, the likes of Santiago Bernabeu as a pitch, so you really have done a lot. And I think this is where these countries look at. They know that they are doing a facility not only for them, but for the demand that comes with football on an international basis. In fact, you can even see AI these days integrated in everything that we do. So if we are doing a training facility that is going to meet the needs of football on a modern basis, on a growing basis, on a day-to-day basis, you will not only look at the basic pitch itself, you not look at the dressing rooms only itself, but you look at how this area can be transformed into an elite center for the players that are coming in. And also after the African Cup of Nations, you'll have a lot of the other things coming in. You'll have tournaments coming in. You'll have a lot of things. You'll have clubs that really want to make their best. So there are a lot of things you need to put into considerations if you really want to make this a modern center. But looking at what it has already, it has been confirmed that, like I told, it's going to be in two phases. The first phase is going to be the grading of the facility, the perimeter fencing, the dressing rooms, the drainage, the water system as well. There's also going to be the power generator and the lavatories as well. Of course, for the toilets as well as the showers, those lavatories are going to be working there. And then there is also the installation of the floodlights. Like I told you, they have to make it possible for teams to train day and night. So it is a possibility that really is worked on. Then the second phase, I don't think that will be the phase that will be done a little bit earlier. It has the VIP stand, it has the medical room, it has the administrative offices, the tennis courts, as well as the baseball courts in there. So that is how it's going to be looking at. And I really think that government will try as much as they can. UPDF will try as much as they can to make it a better facility. But we really need to at least fight so hard and see that it's a facility that really meets the standards that we really need to have, especially when you want to really develop the game of football in general. And of course, it's not only going to be the training ground that we are going to be having in Uganda. Already, you remember that other venues like Mbuya, within Kampala here, there is Mbuya, there is Makerere University, there is also Makindye, in their facilities that have really been earmarked to really be upgraded to modern training facilities. And one of the things that I can say is that already you can see that progress that Uganda is taking as in regards to the 2027 African Cup of Nations. Already last week we had the local organizing committee being appointed, and that is Mrs. Janet Seveni, the Minister of State for Education and Sports. She came out and confirmed those appointments that were really given to those individuals. A lot of individuals that we can say are coming in from the sporting scene. Some of them, you know them, the likes of the Max Salis of this world, and a lot of the others that you don't know, especially in the sporting circles, because now this local organizing committee has that main committee. Then there's also the subcommittees in there. But the difference is that you will not see only footballing people in there. You have people, especially even in this meeting that you had for the signing of this interesting memorandum of understanding for constructing this Kyambogo training ground. You had members of the local organizing committee that are not even part of the sporting world. For example, chief government valuers were part of that. Because you need to know the valuation, whether the money that is being valued, the money that has been, the prices that have been attached to this training facility really meet the required standards. And of course, you have people from accounting. You have a lot of people that are part of this local organizing committee. It's a big committee. I cannot, of course, finish all the names here, but it's a committee that really is supposed to make sure that this interesting tournament becomes a reality. And I really think it will become a reality because the support of government is there, but also the individuals that are really pertaining this job and are really getting into this job. I really think that they really have what it takes. And of course, some of the few names I can just give you of the main committee members. You have, of course, the chair, the first lady, deputies, Peter Ogwang, and then you have the likes of Honorable Moses Magogo that are part of this. So it is something that we are looking forward to having in there, and we believe that it will help this tournament be a success in one way or another. Thank you so much for being part of this interesting show. We'll be back with so much more, but that is what is happening. We expect to have a good facility, and we expect the African Cup of Nations 2027 to be a success. My God, I think I have a lot to say, but I think let me stop there. God bless you, stay safe, and enjoy your day. See you next time.